Hi guys, Kevin Glick alongside Cody Goodwin here for another daily Iowan TV Matside, your one-stop shop for everything Iowa wrestling. It was senior day in Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday as Iowa took on the Michigan Wolverines. It was pretty easy sailing for Tom Brands and his crew, so let's take a look at how it all went down. It's senior day in Carver Hawkeye Arena, nice little ceremony after the duel. And
three key seniors being honored on Sunday afternoon, and Derek St. John, Tony Ramos, and Ethan Lofthouse, 6 in total.
As always, starting at 125, Corey Clark getting the nod again.
A win over Connor Yotze of Michigan, 4-1. He wrestled another tough 7 minutes, another sign to Tom Brands that he can be the guy.
Tony Ramos trying to finish his career undefeated at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
He's able to do so, a 6-1 win over Rossi Bruno of Michigan. Not the win he was looking for. He'd rather, of course, get a pin, but he finishes 34-0, the first Hawkeye to do that since Brent Metcalf.
Now, after a loss at 141 by Josh Jeva, Brody Grothus and Eric Rahalis were in the match of the day. A crazy one, Cody.
You just saw that reversal there. That tied it at 9 after the second period. This takedown from Grahalis is actually going to tie it at 14 to send the match into overtime. And as we continue into overtime, it takes Brody Grothus a tiebreaker to get those near fall points and eventually take a 17-14 win over Grahalis.
Derek St. John with a very Derek St. John-like workman performance, winning 3-1 over Brian Murphy, and that would make the score 12-3 heading into the intermission as he walks off for the final time at Carver Hawkeye Arena. After a Nick Moore decision to make it 15-3 overall, Mike Evans picked up the only bonus point win in the entire duel.
It was a dominating 16-0 performance, and he actually got it with still a minute to go in his match. Hawkeyes up 20-3 at this point.
After a pair of wins at 184 and 197, Bobby Telford had a couple chances to take down Adam Kuhn here.
Number 3 Telford against number 2 Kuhn, about as good as you can get. It's Big Ten wrestling. Kuhn able to play good enough defense to stop each of Telford's 3 shots throughout the match. Kuhn takes it in overtime. Hawkeyes take the duel, though, 26-6.
He would tell you that he enjoys this building. I mean, this is a very unique crowd. They demand a lot out of you, and they will reward you with fanfare if you do your job, and he's done a good job.
What's it like going out undefeated?
It was exciting. I liked it. I would have liked to do it in a little bit better fashion, but, got the job done, got the win. And the fans here are great, Can't ask for any better fans.
And you just heard from Tony Ramos, who completed his Hawkeye career a perfect 34-0 inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. The first Hawkeye wrestler to go undefeated inside Carver since Brent Metcalf, who went 25-0 from 2008 to 2010. It's quite a group to be with. Brent Metcalf, a 2-time NCAA champion for Tom Brands in that time period. 34-0, what does it actually mean? Our own wrestling reporter Danny Payne is sitting in the Daily Iowan Sports Cubicle to talk about what that means and what Tony Ramos has meant to this program. Danny?
Tony Ramos finished an undefeated career inside Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday. A career that began with a 14-5 major decision over Iowa State's Brandon Jones on December 3rd, 2010, and ended Sunday with a 6-1 decision over Michigan's Rossi Bruno. His final takedown inside Carver was a right leg shot, and Ramos couldn't put Bruno on his back, even though it looked like he may be able to do so. Either way, the final takedown put him in the same company as Brent Metcalf and Tom Brands as one of the only Iowa wrestlers to go undefeated inside Carver Hawkeye. It's not just the undefeated record that Ramos will be remembered for. He'll be remembered as a competitor that sent the crowd into a frenzy multiple times, from Oliver to Conaway to Gilliband. The senior has accounted for ear-ringing decibel levels. But he'll also be remembered as the guy who stuck around to autograph every last poster and t-shirt and singlet, the All-American who never turned down a fan's request for an autograph, and the teammate who helped a 149-pounder win a crazy match just by sitting on the bench. You'd also love to be remembered for more than that. He won a bronze medal his sophomore year, a silver medal his junior year, and hopes to win a gold at the NCAA championships in roughly a month and a half. But Sunday was his day. The day that the Carver Hawkeye crowd said goodbye to a 133-pounder that had been a staple in the lineup over the last 4 years, and the day that Tony Ramos said goodbye to the crowd that loved him as much as he loved them.
Thanks, Danny. Brent Metcalf was 25-0 over 3 seasons, the last Iowa wrestler to go undefeated in 4 years. Tom Brands.
Pretty illustrious company Tony Ramos is joining there. But of course, job's not done. The only difference between Tom Brands and Brent Metcalf and Tony Ramos, Metcalf and Brands each have a national title. Tony Ramos still hot on the trail for that national title. Read more about that in Monday's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Tony Ramos, undefeated at home, but still work to do left for Iowa. They hit the road, go to Lehigh on Friday. What are you looking forward to?
Indeed, there's not going to be any love on Valentine's Day between number 2 Iowa and number 22 Lehigh. A couple of matches to keep an eye on when you go and when you watch that duel. It will be at 133 pounds, of course. Tony Ramos is going to wrestle Mason Beckman, a ranked wrestler who might be in the hunt for an All-American. Not quite enough to maybe beat Tony, but enough to scare him, as we saw that with AJ Shop earlier this year in Edinburgh. Kind of a similar wrestler, long, lanky frame. And another guy to keep an eye on, Mitch Minotti at 149 pounds, ranked in the top 10 right now in the country. Will be another good test for Brody Grothus at 149, who seems to be on the fringe there of fighting for an All-American seed, at least, at the NCAA championships. Of course, still a lot to be decided. There's Lehigh, Wisconsin, and Big Ten championships before the Hawkeyes roll into Oklahoma City in March.
Yeah, we'll have that all covered. But that's it for this week. For Cody Goodwin, Danny Payne, I'm Kevin Glick. We'll see you guys next week.